everybody, it's Jess here with Blessed Jess. Thank you so much for watching today. I am going to do a video today all about living minimalistically. So, there's a couple of things that got me thinking about this, and I really hope it encourages someone else because it is really encouraging me. First of all, I was watching a TED Talk. I think that's what it was. It was a TED Talk. If you've never seen the TED Talks, they're really cool. Go check them out. There's a ton of them, and it's all like the most amazing people speaking on subjects. And it sounds kind of boring, but it's really, really interesting. And this girl was talking about how she had moved to France, I think, or it might have been Italy. It was somewhere, another country, and she was from America. And she was moving there for months, like she was studying abroad or whatever, and she was living with another family. And she got there with like her huge suitcases bursting full of stuff. And she started unpacking and realized there was like one tiny little cabinet thing that was their wardrobe, that was their closet. And she was like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Why do they not have, why do they not have storage for all this stuff? I mean, like I can't put anything anywhere. There's like this one little area and I have all this stuff. There's no cabinets, there's nothing. We're spoiled in America. We have closets, we have, all these storage options. And it really made her start thinking, and I'm abbreviating. It was a really amazing talk. She was talking about how she started watching what they did, watching their culture. She started watching the people she lived with, and she noticed that they didn't wear a bunch of different things. They had a few different outfits, but they were really, really nice. And as soon as something happened with one, if they got a stain on it or had a problem where it ripped or whatever, they would just go out and buy another one and get rid of it. But what they did have, they took care of, and they didn't have a bunch of excess. And she started thinking about how we, in our culture, it's nothing to us to just buy something we don't even like and it sits in our closet, and buy something just because it's on sale when we have hundreds and hundreds of pieces of clothing, and we have hundreds and hundreds of just junk in our house. And how many coffee cups can we shove in a cabinet? And it goes on and on and on until our house is bursting with stuff. Whereas in other cultures, they only buy the things they really, really love, and they only buy the things they're going to use. If they don't use it, they get rid of it. And she talks about what a freedom it is to not have as much stuff, but all the stuff around you to be stuff you love. I've been really thinking about that. The second thing that got me really into thinking about living minimalistically is we have been moving around a lot this summer. Not really moving around, but we had a house in Texas, and I've always never really cared that much about having, I'm not real sentimental when it comes to actual things. And I know this isn't going to work for everybody, but I just thought it was really interesting. I didn't want to move with a bunch of stuff that I don't even use. As I started looking around my house, I realized there was a lot of stuff that I've moved from apartment to apartment to apartment to house, and I didn't want to move it again because we didn't even use it. So I really started going through, and there's even a couple of videos on my channel where I'm going through my closet and going, why do I even have this? Why do I have 6 different pairs of sheets when I hate all of them except one? Literally, I had so many pairs of sheets, but it came down to we only used one. And when it was dirty, I would wash them in the same day and put them back on because I didn't want to sleep on any other ones. So why do I have that stuff? So I really started thinking about that. My kids' stuff. Why do they have all these clothes? Maybe someone gave them something and I don't really like it and they don't really like it, but I'm keeping it just because someone gave it to me. I'm letting that go. So anyway, I want to encourage you for a few things you can do to live more minimalistically, to only have the stuff around you that you love. And I really want to encourage others that there is a freedom in not having so much stuff. So first of all, this is just what I'm trying to do as we're about to move again. And I have a whole garage full of stuff that we haven't used all summer. And I purged a lot of stuff before we moved Texas. I'm going to purge a lot of stuff before we move here and as we're unpacking. And I want my apartment, it looks like we're going to be getting an apartment. I want my apartment in Georgia to only be the stuff I know I love and I know that I use. Because if it's just going to sit around, it's going to be a smaller space. I do not want to feel cramped. I do not want to open a cabinet and things fall out at me. Have you guys ever experienced that? You have a cabinet that you open it up and your stuff falls out. You don't even know what's in there. And then it's really hard to maintain. The more stuff you have, the harder it is to keep everything clean. It's just cluttered. You don't even know what you have. It's just so, it stresses you out. It stresses me out. So this is what my plan is going forward. Number one, if we haven't used it in a year, if we haven't used it in 6 months, I'm getting rid of it because I don't need it. It's so easy to hold on to stuff that someone gave you as a gift that you think may be useful in the future. Like maybe one day I'll do a craft and I'll use this. If I haven't used it, I'm getting rid of it. And if I need something in the future, well, then I'll get it then. But it's not worth staying around and getting my way until I need it. Yeah, so only have around you the stuff that you use. If you haven't used it in a while, get rid of it. Number two, only have around you the stuff, and this is, to me, the most important things that I'm going to be focused on is like my closet and like my kitchen stuff that I have abundance of, because I don't have a ton of, let's say, a ton of knickknacks. I've never been a knickknack person, so that's not really a big issue for me. Although I am going to be watching it because I do have some stuff that I need to get rid of. But like my closet, I want to open my closet and anything in there not only fits, but looks nice, doesn't have stains, doesn't have rips, and it's stuff I actually like. I mean, that sounds so ridiculous, but how many times have you lost a button and you don't know where to get one that matches, and you just keep it, and you keep it, and you keep it, and it just sits there? Or how many times have you bought something, you get it home, and you realize, this looks terrible on me, and you don't ever return it, and it sits in your closet, and you never wear it, but you never want to get rid of it because you paid money for it. If it's sitting in your closet and you're not wearing it, just give yourself the freedom to get rid of it. You don't need it. The whole sentimental thing, people give you stuff, and it's really, and we say this all the time, it's the thought that counts. And it's true. Take the thought, take the good intention. They don't want you to keep it if you hate it. You don't have to tell them, I hate this, I'm not keeping it. But release yourself from that because it's holding you back if you have to keep stuff that you don't like in your house. So my kitchen, I really want to go through it and keep my favorite. Now, I do my dishes every single night before I go to bed. So why do I have more than one day's worth of dishes? You know, like why do I have 30 coffee cups? Am I ever going to use 30? Unless 30 people come over to my house, which is probably not going to happen. And if it does happen, I'll probably get like paper products so I don't have to wash them. Why do I need 30 cups? And you know what? What happens when I have 30 cups? There's 25 in the back that are just falling around, and then there's 5 up front that I use every single day. So, or every single week or whatever. You have your favorites. Get rid of the ones that aren't your favorite. Live with stuff that is your favorite. And there is such freedom in having stuff around you that you love and having minimalize, I can't even say that. Minimalize what you have. You know, we are so blessed in America to have abundance of things, but there's nothing wrong with having things, but I feel like, at least for me, I've noticed if I have lots of things, I kind of lose track of what I do have, and it stresses me out to have clutter and a mess everywhere. I want to surround myself with things I like, with things I use. And I'm just taking this chance before we get to move, we're moving in the next few weeks, to really think hard about not keeping stuff I don't need. And freeing myself up to open cabinets and not see stuff fly out of my face because I hate that. And you know, how freeing would it be to open your closet and there's only things you really love in there, and you don't have to take 30 minutes digging through stuff and finding like what still fits, what looks nice with this. Have like, you know, I'm really, she was talking about how she had like 10 things. The video I watched, she had like 10 outfits and she kind of mixed and matched them, but that's it. And you know, like maybe 1 or 2 pairs of pajamas, but not like ratty t-shirts and stuff, but like nice pairs of pajamas. And she even saved money doing it that way as opposed to just buying any little thing that was on sale. So I'm really trying to get my wardrobe down. I don't have a lot of stuff right now. But as I'm losing weight, only buy the things I really love. And everything else that doesn't flatter me, that I hate wearing, that I am like, oh, I look terrible in this. Why am I even have this? Just get rid of it. It's not worth that on your mind. So it's hard to do because you feel like I invested money into this and whatever, but if it's holding you back, it's better for you to get rid of it. I hope this is making sense. I've just been thinking a lot about minimalistic living in every single thing I do. Why do my kids need hundreds of, seriously, they have probably at least 50 pieces of clothes each, if not more than that. But you know what? I reach for the same ones over and over again. Or I'll put them in something and be like, oh, that really doesn't fit him right. Like Nate, especially with his shirts, I need to just get rid of every single thing that doesn't fit him because I've started noticing this summer, like, oh, that doesn't look good on him. I need to just keep the pieces that fit at the moment and just donate it. Bless someone else. But don't, if they need to get rid of, like we also do this, if we give someone something and they don't want it or we see that they've gotten rid of it, it kind of hurts us. Don't do that. If like you give someone something, you're giving it to them, the same as they're giving it to you. Release any expectation of, well, they must not like me if they get rid of it. Some people are like that. I never care. If I ever give someone something, I usually say to people, if you don't like this or whatever, if these clothes that I'm donating to you or whatever, if they don't work out, just get rid of them. But there are people who, even like donating it to the Salvation Army or donating it to Goodwill or something, it will bless someone else. I like to try to find someone in my life that needs it, but that's always an option as well. So I'm really just encouraged as I'm going through this process. This is a fresh slate for me as I'm moving into a new space to only have around the things around me that I actually use. I want to get rid of a bunch of my kids' toys that they don't play with and that just get in their way. You guys know this if you have kids. Sometimes when the kids have so many toys, they don't even know what they have. If you put a kid in a room with 100 toys, it's crazy, but they kind of get overwhelmed and they end up running back out of the room, not playing with anything. As what I like to do is only get a couple of toys out. I store a lot of their stuff in the closet so they don't see it every single day, and get a couple of things out at a time. It becomes new to them, becomes more entertaining to them, and it keeps their room looking cleaner and not as overwhelming. So I'm just going room to room in my mind, thinking about things that I don't use, that maybe are broken or not at their best. And going forward, here's the next part. Going forward when you go shopping, okay? When you go shopping, really taking a step back and saying, I know that this shirt is marked down 80% off. Okay, that's great. But do I really, really love it? If it was full price, would I still buy it? If the answer is no, then don't get it. Even if it's 80% off, you don't love it. Only buy things you love. Only surround yourself with things you love. And, when you get your wardrobe to the certain, I'm really trying to get it down to a small line. So as I buy things, I want to be able to say, I'm bringing home a shirt. What shirt in my closet can I get rid of? And just keeping it a small number. No one keeps track of, hey, you wore that shirt 2 weeks ago. Nobody cares. You think about that, but they don't. At least I've noticed that. So I hope this makes sense. I'm really trying to live minimalistically, live without excess, because I feel like the excess just gets in my way. It just gets in my way and I can't think straight. So as I'm moving forward, I will be showing you clips of, my cabinets and my I'm going to be going through every single, especially my kitchen. I know that's a big area. Why do I need 20 different plastic containers? Why do I, I really okay, here's a prime example. I have probably 20 or more plastic, Rubbermaid containers. You never can find the lids. They're all over the place. They get stained, and then I lose parts of them, and they're cheap. I really want to pare that down and start replacing with nicer pieces, like glass pieces that will last a little bit longer, or lids that will fit together and store. Here's my biggest tip with plastic containers. Have less of them store them with the lids on. I know it will not save as much space, but I would rather have 5 plastic containers with the lids already on them together neatly than 20 things all stacked together with the lids all over the place. You can't find anything. Minimize, minimize your stuff. And I know this isn't going to work for everyone, but it's just something I've been thinking about that I hope would help someone else, because I know there's a lot of moms that watch my channel, and I just want to encourage you, it doesn't have to stay overwhelming. And I really think there's something to be said about limiting what you have and actually buying things you love, as opposed to just settling for whatever is cheap and then you hate it. So, I mean, by the time you buy 10 things that are 80% off, you could have bought a really nice pair of something that you really love. And I'm not against buying things on sale. I love buying things on sale. But if we're buying things on sale just because they're cheap and not because we actually love them, it's not doing anybody any good. So I hope this hasn't just been a rambling thing, and it's been floating around in my brain. I just wanted to get it out because it's just something that I really feel passionate about, and I really want my home to be relaxing and comfortable and welcoming and peaceful. And I feel like when there's so much stuff every single turn you take, I can't rest like that. I don't feel peaceful like that, and it doesn't serve my family well. So it's just something I've been thinking about. I hope it helped someone else. If you have any questions about any of this or any tips from me about any of this, please leave a comment down below. I would love to chat with you about this in the comments. And big thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new. There's big things coming on my channel as we're moving and getting our house set up, apartment set up, and getting new systems in place, and figuring out so many things about the area we're living and all of that. It's really exciting. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.